Amrut Distilleries, founded in Bangalore in 1948, is India's pioneering single malt whisky producer. Known for its innovative use of Indian barley and traditional pot stills, Amrut gained global fame with its award-winning Amrut Fusion. Here we can see the first still they ever used to produce single malt whisky. Amrut Distillery doesn't just produce whisky, they produce thousands of litres of white spirit that's sold locally, along with gin and rum. In the background here you can see one of their first stills that didn't have a reflex column, which was producing very heavy spirit. I was able to get my 360 camera inside one of the fermentation tanks so you guys could see what it looks like. Out in their very own garden you can see a lot of the herbs and botanicals they use in their very own gin. Here you can see some lemongrass drying out which will be used later on. I was shown the traditional method they use to measure the ratio of husk, grist and flour that they put into the mash tun. If there's too much flour, it can block up the holes when draining from the mash tun, which can cause a lot of problems for cleaning. I was then taken through to their newest single malt whisky production site. Apparently I'm the first person to have come there. They run 2 sets of stills, a 5,000 litre wash still and a 6,000 litre spirit still. All of the equipment they have at the Amrut Distillery is produced and fabricated in India, exact replicas of what we'd see in Scotland. The spirit still was on at the very beginning of its cycle, and we could see the new make spirit coming out through into the spirit safe. We then moved through into one of the warehouses where we could see some of the older spirits that they had in storage. The temperature of the warehouse can reach up to 22 degrees. Our next stop was the bottling hall, and I was quite surprised to see how many people there were doing quality control and making sure that every single bottle was perfect. There were people holding up the bottles to the light to make sure that there were no sediments inside the bottles, and if there were, they were poured back out and they went back through the process of filtration. Whilst we were in the bottling hall, they were bottling the Two Indies rum, which is a blend of Indian and Caribbean rums. They were also bottling the Amrut Amalgam, which is a new blended malt made from Asian, Scottish, Japanese and Indian malts. The bottling hall is impressive. They're bottling all of their own products in-house, packaging them and readying them for distribution. They've got pictures of the founding fathers in the bottling hall watching down over the production line. Due to the incredibly high demand of Amrut products across the 40 countries they sell in, there's never that much stock on hand because it's constantly going out to distributors. Currently at Amrut Distillery they have over 20,000 barrels in maturation. They're constantly having to refill and empty to meet their demand. We then moved on to the most exciting part of the visit for me. We were allowed to choose 5 barrels for further maturation to go into the platinum cask bottlings. I took my time to choose the barrels I wanted and then took a marker pen and identified them by writing Farm I on each barrel that I had chosen. In 5 or 6 years' time we'll see these come out in our very own platinum cask independent bottling brand. I feel very lucky to have been given the chance to choose barrels, as there's only one other independent bottler, Blackadder, that's been given the chance to do this. I then had a chance to look at the Amrut Expedition. Amrut and India's oldest whisky, coming in at 15 years old. The previous oldest whisky was 12 years old, which was the Amrut Greedy Angels 12. The Amrut Greedy Angels 12 had only 100 bottles available, but the Amrut Expedition has even less, at only 75. 70 already out in the market, and 5 reserved especially for Farm I Holdings clients. So there it is, Amrut Distillery. What an amazing facility.